operations, and those operations wise the data will be producing, and that data we need to store into another application, and that another application is called as what now? Databases. Okay, so that's what. And the next come out here, the data storages. Okay, so data storage means what? Okay, so simply we can say, guys, here it is a location. It is a location. Okay, it is a location. So where we can store data or information, where we can store data or information, and that locations are called as a storages. Okay, data storages we call. But guys, here how many types of data storage methods we have in our real time? Okay, now, so how many methods we are going to be using for data management purpose or data storage as purpose? Okay, how many types of methods we have it here? Okay, let me see here. There are 3 types of methods we have it, guys. Carefully observe. It's a completely, we can say, okay, papers and books. So this is the first method. Early days, that means at the time there is no computers in the world and there is no database softwares in the world. Okay, so at the time nothing, that means there is no computers, nothing languages, okay, nothing softwares. So in that cases, in that situations, in those many days, so how the people can manage their data, how they can store the data, means what they're using, guys, here, papers and books. So if you want to understand this is, you have to say like before computers. This is, we can say what now? Before computers. And after computers, that means when the computers are introducing in the world, okay, then how the data can be stored. It means they can store the data into, what is that here? Flat files. Which files here? Flat files. And the flat file, even though we called as what now? Text file. Flat file, the even though we called as what now? Text file. So how many people knows that? So if anybody asks you, what is the default file of operating system? What is your default file of operating system? Text file. Okay, so this is a default file of your OS. Okay, now, so that is called as a flat files. And these flat files, they used, when they used, the people means from computers. So whenever the computers are introducing here, okay, from there onwards, so many companies and organizations, their business data, they can move into books and papers to flat files. Okay, now, but after this, the third one is introducing what? DBMS. Okay, so DBMS stands for, it's called as what now, guys? Yeah, yes, database management systems. Okay, and what is database management system? It is called as, simply, it is a software. Okay, so before computers, after computers, and later software. Okay, so these are the 3 data storages which we can use the data storage purpose. Okay, now, right? But guys, here I don't want to give much explanation on books and papers. Okay, now, so we all of you know this. It's completely manual system. So when you're comparing this method, okay, so what are the advantages and what is the disadvantages if you want to check it? So instead of advantages, we have a more drawbacks. Okay, and we all of you know this. And that was practically you are doing now. So now we are using notebooks. Yes or no, all of you? Yes, that's a paper. Okay, now. So paper and books already using. So now tell me, what is the advantage of that? If my person is distributing papers to you and you also have a notes and you are writing something in the paper and notes, what is advantage? Okay, so advantages means nothing, just a storage. But what is the drawbacks? So many. See, compared to advantages, drawbacks are more. What kind of drawbacks? First thing is, it's a purely manual system. It's a purely manual system. If it is a manual system, we need more manpower. So manpower is highly required. Yes or no? And when the manpower is increases, automatically my expenditures also increase. Okay now. And next one is how much data can I handle in a paper and book? We can handle big data or very small data. Very small data we can handle, but we can't handle big data. That's the problem. Security is there? No, anybody can open your paper. They can see it. Whatever you written, whatever you stored, that information, anybody can see it because there is no security. Yes or no? So no security. Can I do any manipulations? Very difficult. So if you want to do manipulation, not possible. If you want to do manipulations means what now? Changes, modifications. That kind of modifications can I do in my notebook? No. You want to modify, strike your line and write again new line, right? So this kind of. So manipulations are very, very difficult. No security. Very, very less amount of data can only handle. Yes or no? And retrieval. Retrieval means reading. Suppose you have 100 pages are there in your book. Out of 100 pages, you need to retrieval a specific information. Is it possible to fastly we can do? No. So each and every page we need to search. And our required information is having in which page, I don't know. Out of 100 pages. Understand my point? So retrieval data is a time consuming process. Okay. So if you compare like this guys here, the books and papers, there are so many problems we have it here instead of advantages. Okay. Now, so to overcome that problems, to avoid that problems, the people next they taken the choice. What is the choice here? Computers. That means later they are stored that information not in books and papers. They're storing the data under computers. And that computers, how it will be storing in that computers means they're using what? Flat files. My point understanding now? Yes, this is flat file. So come to flat file we will discuss because books and papers normally we can, but flat files we need to discuss because once you know the flat files, then you can understand that what is the need and necessity the people was introducing database management system concept. Understand now? If anybody asks you why DBMS, why DBMS, this DBMS concept, why the people was introducing in real-time industries, okay, and why this software was introducing. So this kind of knowledge and to know it about DBMS, why and what and how, whatever it is, before you have to know flat files. So your flat files, we can see the advantages as well as drawbacks. But here also, in flat file, what it has happened compared to advantages, having more drawbacks here also. Okay, let me see. So take siding flat files. And now what I can say, flat files, in flat files, what we can say that, okay, what we can say guys here, data can be stored in which data can be stored in files with the help of which one? With the help of what? Oh yes, with the help of operating systems, we are going to be storing our data into files. Okay now, but here guys, what is the advantages of flat files? Means one thing, it's a computerized application. It's not a manual system. It's a computerized application so that we need a less manpower so that your expenditures also less. When you are comparing with the books and papers, because flat files before, which method the people are using? Books and papers. So flat files before, we have this method, and in this method, okay, with this method, if you want to compare your flat files, what is the advantages here? Few advantages. What is that? Computer application, computerized application. It's not a manual system. It is a computerized systems. So less manpower, less expenditures. And when you compare to books and papers, little bit data, I can store more here. Okay, that's it. But again, here also having so many problems. Again, the people was identified so many problems and drawbacks in the flat files. So that's why I'm just directly go for my disadvantages of your flat files. Okay, now? Now we can take disadvantages of flat file. Okay, right. So the main points we will discuss in this flat files mechanism. The first one is called as, guys, here, the first problem is called as a data redundancy problem. Data redundancy. Okay, this is one problem we will be faced with the flat files. And the second one is called as, guys, here, data inconsistency problem. Data inconsistency problem. Okay, now. And the third one we called as here data retrieval problem. Data retrieval problem. Okay. And the next one is called as, the fourth one is called as here, okay, data integrity problem. Data integrity problems. Okay. So we are facing. And the next one we are facing, guys, here, data security problems. Data security problems. And the next one we are facing here, data indexing problems. Okay, indexing. So there are so many drawbacks. Okay, but in that I was taken some major drawbacks we will explain to you. Okay, one is redundancy, inconsistency, retrieval, integrity problems, security, and indexes. So these are the some major problems I was taken from flat files. Okay, and we discuss on this, and later how to overcome these problems, then that we will be see under DBMS. Okay, now, right. So let me see one by one. I will show you practically what is what and what is the mean of redundancy, what is the mean of inconsistency, what is the mean of retrieval, what is the mean of integrity, security, and indexing. Okay, let me see one by one with the practical examples. I will explain to you. You will get easiness what is what. Okay, right. The first one is called as a data redundancy. So data redundancy problem is what, sir? In this means a simple problem is there. A redundancy is nothing but what now? Duplicated data. So that means the same data I can store in multiple files in a computer. Is it possible or not? As your experience tell me, because you all of you know computer knowledge now. You are all are using the computers. Now tell me. So in a text file, whatever the text files are there, same information can I store in multiple text files? Is it possible? Yes. But tell me, guys, here, the same information when you're storing into multiple text files, can I say that is a duplicate data now? Are you storing duplicate data now? Yes. So that kind of possibility was there in the files. Okay. So, but is there any advantage if I store multiple times my data? The same information I want to store multiple times. Is there any advantage to me? No. So without advantage, we have a drawbacks are there. First one is what now? Duplicates. Unnecessarily. Are you storing your duplicate data? First thing. Unnecessarily. Are you wasting your memory? Yes or no? So that means what is mean here? Data redundancy means storing same information in multiple, okay, in multiple files. Okay, multiple files in computer. So this is what it was happening. Okay, so now we can see the practically we will discuss, guys, here. So now let me come out, and I just created here some files I'm creating now. So one of my text file, okay, I created this text file name is, okay, test1 I was created here. So in this test file, I just open this test file here, and now I'm inserting some data into this text file. Okay, so which information I need to store? Means, for example, I have a company. In my company, how many employees are working? Those employees information I'm storing under one text file in my computer. Okay, now let me see what it was happen here. So I want to store here which data? Employees data. Okay, now I'm storing here employees data. Let me come out and see. So my information is employee. So what I want to say, employee details. Okay. So some information I'm storing, okay, into this file. So my employee ID number, that's called EID, simple I was taken. And next I have to take e-name. Next I have to take, okay, so a designation, okay, now. And the next I have to take your salary, okay, now. So salary. And next I have to take your department, okay, so department name. And next I have to take here, okay, so what is this here? Gender. Okay, these are the some information I have to store about your employees. Okay, now fine. Employee ID number, that employee name is Smith. So he was manager is a designation. Its salary was 45,000 rupees. Okay, the department is manager department. Okay, otherwise in place of this department, better to take, I will take it what? Date of join, for example, date of join. So now I want to take your date of join, for example, 12 dash, okay, 05 dash, okay, 2015 something, okay. And the gender was, he was a male. So he was a M means male, okay. Now 102, the next employee name is Ellen, okay, and she is HR here, and her salary was 35,000 rupees, okay, and she joined like for example 05 dash, okay, 02 dash 2016, and she was, okay, female. Like 103 and some information here word, and suppose he was a senior programmer. He was a senior programmer. His salary was 28,000 rupees. And now he was joined, for example, 18 dash, okay, 11 dash, okay, 2015. And he is also male. So like this, I was stored some information. Okay, like you can store number of employees information, you can store it. And finally come back and see, click on save and close here. So what happened? So my data I was stored now. Yes, I was successfully stored in this file and I just keep it here. And the next time, if I want to open this file, yes, you have your data, whatever you stored. But my question is, suppose, unfortunately, the same data, okay, if another user is come to this system and that user, they doesn't know whether this data already existing or not. Because I was stored. Mr. Sudhakar was stored some data. Next one, Mr. Allen was come. He is also working on the same computer and he is also going to be login and he was also going to be store some data. Yes or no? Suppose another user is came. So he's also what he was thinking here. He's also creating one file and the file name he was giving suppose employee file name. And what you want to store in this here. So he's also storing guys here the same information he's also storing. And I just come back and see to execute and save. This file is also successfully saved, right? So after saving this, let me come back and see if later after some time, again the first person is come to me here, the first person is come to here and he will be open the test1 file. Yes, he have it a data, but unfortunately he was open one more file, EMP, he's also have a data. So now let me see guys here, what it was happening guys here, same data are you storing or else having in multiple files? Is it practically proved? Yes. This is what we called as one of the biggest problem in files. So like this, there is a number of copies we can go to create and store your same information. But tell me guys here, if I'm storing like this, okay, is there any advantage to me? Not. There is no users. Okay, now, but it will be accepted. But this problem, can I restrict it here? No. Because your computer is also not telling to user this data already existing. That kind of any alerts it was giving to us? No. The computer is not giving that kind of alerts. Okay, this data already existing. That kind of alerts will not giving to us. So that's why what happened, the user doesn't know the number of users they can store the same information in number of files. And this is called a data redundancy problem. All of you clear now? Right. This is one practically we proved in the flat files. So flat files are accepting what? Duplicates data. Okay. Like this, it will be do it now. So this is one problem we discuss. And the next problem is observed. Come to my next problem. What is the next problem? Data inconsistency. Second problem is what now? Data inconsistency. So data inconsistency means what, sir? Exactly. It means that if when we change any information in a file 1, the same corresponding information, whatever it was there in the file number 2, the data will never affected. Okay. So now here observe. It means what? For example, this is 2 files are there. The 2 files are having same information. Okay, now suppose if one of the user, he was came and opened one file, and in this file he was doing some manipulations. He was doing some manipulations. So what is my manipulation here? So suppose 1 or 2 LN HR. So his salary how much here? 35, but I am now showing as a 15,000 rupees. So I was updated here, and after updated, just come out and click on save and close this. Okay, that was happening. That means anybody can come and manipulate my data. That was happening. So after that, the next time, suppose if I open this file, then what it was happen, guys, here, my LNHR, still it was showing how much? 35, but previously how much I was changed? 15. And if you see that second file is also, if you open, then the 2 files will become to you, and the 2 files are having the same data. Then what it was happen, guys, here, whatever the data I was modified in my file 1, the corresponding data, whatever it was there in the file 2, is it change or not change? Not change. If it is not change, what is the problem? Inconsistency. It's called as a confusion. It's called as what? Confusion. And now I'm asking to you, can you tell me, guys, here, LN salary, how much? Is it 15,000 or 35,000? 15,000. What is the proof? Why not 35? I'm saying that 35. You are saying that 15,000. So what is the proof? Whether your answer is right or my answer is right? Which is right? 15,000 is right or 35,000 is right? Can we say? No. Why we can't say? Because same person details we have how many times? 2 times. In one file, 15,000 showing. In another file, 35,000 salary showing. So in this, which is accuracy? 15,000 salary is accuracy or 35,000 salary is accuracy? We don't know. And we can't tell us. Yes or no? So we can't tell them because of reason I was confused here. Because 2 different salaries are showing by one person. Are you understanding my point or not? So this is called as a inconsistency. That's called as a irregularity of data. Data is not regular. Data is called a irregular. So mismatchings. Okay. And now we can see, for example, somebody's come and here genders are there. So now suppose a Smith is there. Okay, male. But now I can modify as a female. Okay, now. So I can save it this one. Okay, I can save it this one. Yes, this file is also saved. And after that, I just open these 2 files. What it was happen again? Now tell me, Smith is a male or female? Again, confusion. Okay. And suppose a Smith is a male, then the data is showing here wrong data. That is called the irregular of data. Data is not matching. Data is mismatching. So this kind of manipulations, the people can do it without having any securities. Okay, now. So they can change my complete data, whatever he wanted. Yes or no? See, male to female changes. Okay, 35,000 to 15,000 changes. But tell me, guys, here, if any one file, if I updated or changes, the corresponding data in second file is changes? No. If it is not changes, then confusion is occurred. Irregularity of data will be occurred. Mismatching of data is occurred. That is called as inconsistency. But my data is always inconsistency or consistency? Consistency. What does it mean by consistency? So consistency means what now? Suppose one person or one employee, one student, one customer, one product, that information, if I change into one file, then the same information, wherever it is there, those files also automatically change. Okay, now for example, here I changed here 15,000. The same employee salary is also having into another file now. Yes. So here if I change 15, here also automatically change 15. Now tell me, what is your salary? 15,000. Exactly, we can say without having any doubt, because of reason both are showing same salary. There is no confusion here. This is called a regular matching. Okay. So now here I was changed here. Okay. Male. Your male is there. I was changed here what? Female. Then here also it will be changed here what now? Female. Again, there is no confusion. Smith is a female. Yes, but that kind of things are happening here? No. So one file change means second file cannot affected. If cannot affected, data will be wrong. It was showing wrong data. That is called as what now? Inconsistency problems. But this inconsistency problems, when it is occurred, sir, when it is occurred, sir, means whenever you want to store same data multiple times. For example, I am not storing the data in multiple times. I am storing only one time here. Only one time I store my data in one file. Then tell me, is there any confusion? No. So that means this is consistency. Whatever you can modify, that is consistency, because only one file is there. We don't have any comparisons. Yes or no? So this is called a consistency, whatever you can do. Okay. But when you have a duplicate data, then inconsistency problem is occurred. So that means inconsistency when it is occurred means when we have a duplicates. When we have a duplicates. When we have a duplicates, there is a chance to occur inconsistency problem. Okay, so that means inconsistency is depends on duplicate data. When you avoided duplicate data, automatically inconsistency problem also we avoided. That's why redundancy, inconsistency, both are dependencies. Understand na? So that is what we called as a inconsistency we called. Okay na? Inconsistent. So that means what now? Confusion of data. So I will just given here shortcut here, confusion data. So data is not a regular, data is a irregular. Okay. If you change data in one file, the corresponding data in another file will not be changes. That I was given in the documentation. Okay, na? No problem. So now, next one is called as what now? Data retrieval. The third problem. So your data retrieval means what? Reading of your data. So which data you wanted, the data you need to read it. Okay, na? So that is we called as a retrieval data. Retrieval data from a file is very difficult. The file is very difficult. Okay. So why, sir? Why it is very difficult to retrieval data from a file? It means that generally what it was happening, guys, here, whenever you want to read your data from a file, so user cannot directly read it. So we can't directly read. For reading purpose, we need to write some application program. We need to write some application program. So which kind of programs we need to write means C language, C++, Java, .NET. Okay, so maybe Python. So this kind of programming knowledge, the user should be know it whenever you want to read your data from files. That's why, can you see, guys, anybody in C language you have a file handling concepts are there. Anybody listens? In Java also there, file handling concept, right? In file handling concept, what you are learning in that? how to write data into file and how to read data from file. That's called a IO streams. IO streams means what? Input and output streams, like a read method, write method. Are you remember? So that type of program you need to develop. So that means retrieval data from a file is very difficult because of reason we need to develop what now? One programming language application. So at that time initially what we have only C, C++. So that means in those days before DBMS, in those days, okay, the people was retrieving the data by using of what now? Some C programming code they was developed or C++ code they want to develop to retrieve your necessary data from your files. But here highly difficult. Okay, I will show you practically. We have one concept is there in our Oracle course. Okay, the concept name is UTL file packages are there. In that UTL file packages, practically I will show you how the people can read the data from file and how the people can write the data into file. Okay, at the time you can understand that how much complicated program we are writing there. Okay, now, but this is what the thing was happened. So we need to develop some application develop. Okay, we need to develop, okay, an application program. Okay, so by using of some procedural languages like a C, C++, and now you have, compared to now, you have to use what? Java, okay, comma, .NET, Python, etc. These kind of languages also you can use it now. Okay, now. So, but this is very, very difficult. But the same question, guys, here, suppose the same data, if I want to retrieval from the database, I don't want it this knowledge. The first point, remember. The first point, remember. For example, so now what I'm saying here, okay, now, so for example, here observe. Suppose guys here, okay, this is user, some just a diagrammatical observe. So this user, he want to read, okay, or retrieve your data from a file. Suppose this is my file. This is my file. In this file, I was storing my data like this. In the line by line manner, data will be stored. That's called a sequential order. It will be storing. So what we said here, whenever this user want to read or retrieval data from the file, he can't go to directly read. Then what you want to do, guys, here, he want to develop one application. Okay, this application may be which application? C application. It may be C++ application, and nowadays Java application, .NET application, etc. So you want to write some programming code by using of these languages to read your data from file. And this code we are writing like a 15 to 20 lines of code we are writing. 15 to 20 lines of code we are writing to reading purpose. This is highly difficult to users. But now what it was happened to overcome this problem, now instead of file, okay, now the data I'm storing into, where I'm storing, guys, now into databases. So when your data was storing into databases in the tabular format, okay, in the tabular format, suppose the same user, he want to retrieve data from your databases, then no need to write a application program. That means C knowledge, C++ knowledge, Java knowledge, .NET, Python. You don't want it any knowledge here. But here we just using our own language. That language is called as what now, guys? SQL. And SQL is also how much easy, you know. So suppose if you want to write, okay, read your one line query, that is called as a, for example, so which query I'm writing? Select star from so. That's it. This is single one line statement. Okay. And this is how much user friendly now? Yes or no? Are you writing 15 to 20 lines of code is better, or writing one line query is better? Which is flexible for us? Query is always flexible. Yes or no? Who want to write 100 lines of code? Time waste and complications. Okay, na? So, but I'm going to storing my data into database, and from there, if I want to retrieval, then user no need any other programming languages. With the help of SQL queries, I can just retrieve whatever you wanted that you can retrieve. Okay, now? So this is the comparison of files and database. Now tell me, so retrieval data from file, is it difficult, or from database is difficult? From file is difficult. Database is very easy, time saving. Yes or no? So this is one more problem we are going to be facing under file management systems, otherwise flat files. And the next one is called, what is that? Data integrity. Data integrity. So data integrity here, okay, what is the mean by integrity? So here integrity is nothing but, guys, here integrity is nothing but to do, okay, what we want to do, validations. What we want to do, guys? Validations. Integrity is nothing but to perform some validations. Okay. So, but unfortunately, these kind of validations I cannot apply on my flat files. The flat files cannot support validations. For example, the practical you can see. For example, here I was open my, okay, some file is open and I have some data in this file. Okay, now we can see. This is what now? Employee name. In employee name, user try to changing, okay, 1021. Is it right or wrong? Wrong, because name is which type of data type? String, character or string data type. Okay, now, but I was inserted, that means in string format column, in string type of column, what type of data I'm storing? Integer. So in any language, okay, so can you store like this? No, it's not supported. It was showing error. What is error? Conversion errors. Data type conversion problems are occurred. But in my flat file, I was successfully updated na? Yes, I successfully did here. So now tell me, your data is verified or not verified? Not verified. You are storing integer, you are storing string, or you are storing float values, you are storing date expression or binary expression. So never check. Your wish, whatever you can do. Okay. In the same pattern, for example, to these people, I want to add one more that was called as a mobile number if I want to adding, guys. Generally in our Indian style, what is the mobile number digits? Nine digits. How many? 10 digits of mobile number. कुछ नया वाला आया क्या? 9 digits का. So आया क्या? No na, 10 digits na? Okay, right. Now we can see, I just go to enter here. How many digits I entered? 8 digits. So 8 digits of mobile number can I save in this file? I can save now. Yes. But is it right or wrong? It is valid or invalid? Invalid. But invalid data is also, are you storing na? Accepting na? Then it is a problem or not? Problem. No. It is a problem. So less than 10 digits accepted. Okay, now less than 10 digits accepted. In the same to same, I want to give here how many numbers? 6, 9, 10, 11. 11 mobile number digit also I can store, accepted. So less than 9, less than 10 and more than 10. The both are accepting here. So now tell me, it is a validation or not validated? Not validated. If it is a validation, means what now? Validation, why we want to use? Accurate information purpose, exactly information to accepting purpose. For example, best examples nowadays you can see any one website registration forms you can see. some registration forms, password is there. So there was giving some hint. Your password minimum 8 characters. Did you identify that kind of problems? Yes. That is called what? Validation. That purpose you are writing what? JavaScript in front end side. I'm telling, not back end side. In front end side, what you are using? JavaScript. For what purpose? Validations purpose. Okay. So now you can see, suppose you are entering user ID and same user ID already existing. Okay, a@gmail.com. But again, newcomer is also try to create a@gmail.com. Then what happened? User created or not created? Not created. And before, that means beside, one message will come. What is the message? This user ID already existing. So please choose new. These are all are called as what now? Validations we called. So these validations, why are you performing here? To get my accurate and exact information which what I wanted. Okay, na? So that purpose we need a validations. But the same thing when we are storing data into databases also, when user is inserting some data through an application to databases also, your database server is also verified your data. Is it right or wrong? Is it valid or invalid? But that kind of techniques, mechanisms, I can't apply on my files. So this is one of the biggest problem, data integrity problem in your flat files. Okay, so this mechanism is not supported. So integrity means what now? To do validations, but what happened? Files are not allowed. Okay, so validations are not allowed. This is one problem we have to face. And the next one is called as a data security. So in my running notes, I was given only just a shortcut statements, but your main notes in main material, you have a clear definitions. Okay, na? Right. Data security. So security is what? To give a protection, the prevents we have to provide. So now in the flat files also, suppose if I stored any confidential data, if I stored here, is it secured for your files? No, especially flat files I'm telling. So flat files are not giving any security for your information which you stored. The data anybody can come and open and see it. So that means what we say, files are not a secured. Okay, which files? Flat files. Flat files are or files are not secured. Not secured. Okay. So a security problem also we are facing, because if I want to store some business related information, means definitely the business people, they are storing some confidential information. For simple example, now we are going to register your registration form. In the registration form, you have a user ID, password, confirm password is there. You will be entered your password and confirm password, and you click on submit button. If that data will be storing into file, then what happened? Your password is secured or not secured? Not secured. Anybody can open that file and they can see your user ID and also password. The password is called as what now? Confidential data, sensitive data. Which data? Sensitive data. Those kind of sensitive data or confidential data, it's not good in our files. So because security will be not there. That is one more biggest problem in these flat files. And finally, what is this? Data indexing. So here basically indexing is nothing but what, sir? Indexing is nothing but what, sir, means to fastly I want to access my data. So what I want to say, to access the required data. Okay, the required data. Okay, from a file. Okay, so fastly, or else we can say quickly. Okay, we can say fastly or quickly. To access the required data from a file fastly. But it was happening or not? But it is not allowed. It is not allowed. Because of reason, files cannot supported indexing. Files cannot supporting indexing techniques, and these techniques I cannot implement on my files. And generally index technique is what, sir? What purpose we need to use this technique means, so you have to access or read your necessary data or specific data within less period of time. that I said to you, 0.05, 0.01, which is better? Data retrieval time is 0.05 is better, 0.01 is better. 1 is better. That means in real time, the people target is what now? How much shortest time I can take my data. That was our best priority. Okay, now. So that is the first priority is what now? Reading data in how much shortest period. Okay, for that purpose, indexing concepts are we are using. Okay, no? So these are the problems and which was not supported in our flat files, but these all are supported under database management system, and every point with the practically I will show you in my Oracle classes. So security, how to give, what is indexer, timings, how to retrieval, okay, and later redundancy, inconsistency, integrity, validations, these all are I will apply on my databases. Okay, that in coming classes, coming sessions, one by one we can say it. So these are the problems, guys, here which was occurred in the flat files. And finally, these flat files and books and papers and flat files, whatever the drawbacks are there, to overcome these all drawbacks, finally the people was introducing what now? DBMS. So this is why the DBMS is came. Okay, next DBMS was introduced here. So we said the DBMS, okay, what we said, it stands for database management system. Okay, now it stands for database management system. Okay, and it is a what it is, sir. If anybody asks you what it is, sir, means it is a software. It is what? It is a software. And with this software, what we can do? With this software, what we can do? Okay, now it is a software which is used, okay, to perform the following operations. Okay, what is that? So first operation is what now? Okay, creating tables. Okay, now the second operation is what now? Inserting data into table. Okay, into a table. Okay, and next one is what now? Updating. So updating data in the table. Okay, in the table. And next one is what? Okay, selecting data from the table. Selecting the data from the table. Next one is what now? Deleting. So deleting data from the table. Deleting the data from the table. So these kind of operations, whenever you want to perform, okay, over your database memories or databases, then you can use this software. Understand now? So what is that? What we can do, these operations, guys, creating tables, insert, update, select, and delete. So these operations we can perform. Okay, now, right. But in this software, in this DBMS, with the help of DBMS, these are the performance of your operations over databases. But what is the advantages of your DBMS? Let you see, right? So advantages of DBMS. So DBMS advantages is what now, guys? Here, the first advantage in this, to reduce data redundancy problems. Data redundancy, okay, na? Problems. Okay, that means duplicate problems. Data redundancy problems. And second one is to avoid which problem? Data inconsistency. Data inconsistency. Next one, it is easy to what? Manipulate. Okay, data. So whenever you want to manipulate, you can manipulate. And it is easy to okay, retrieval data. And it is easy to it is easy to, okay, easy to accessing, okay, data. Okay, next one is supporting data integrity, supporting data integrity rules. That is called a validations are supported. And next one is called supporting, okay, supporting data, which concept? Indexing or indexing, okay, it will be supported here. And next one is supporting, okay, supporting, okay, transactions, supporting transactions, okay, with accurate manner by using what now? ACID properties. ACID means, anybody know? What is that? A stands for atomic, C stands for consistency, I stands for isolation, D stands for durability. So why, sir, DBMS, database software, sir, will maintain data in accurate and consistency manner? If anybody asks you why your transactions are accurate and consistency, means because of reason what? ACID properties. So what is ACID properties, how it was working, we will discuss in our classes. Okay now? And now, so it was what it was, it will be provide or, okay, to provide what now? Security. To provide what now? Security. So now, data redundancy, inconsistency, retrieval, integrity, security, indexing, manipulations, accessing, okay, and transactions managements. This all we can go to do it with the help of what now? DBMS. But these are the things which was not supported in our flat files. Okay now? Right. And this is what we called. And next one is called as, very important thing is, guys, here, okay, that's called as a models of DBMS. So models of DBMS. So what kind of models and your DBMS software, how the people was enhanced, okay, the day by, that means year by year, decade by decade, how the database softwares are enhanced in real-time industries. Okay, so the first software of DBMS, what is that? Okay, first software of DBMS. Okay, the first software is called as what now? Hierarchical, okay, hierarchical database management system is my first software. Okay, now this is my first model and software here. Okay, now that is the first one. And the second software, what is the second software here? Network DBMS, database management software. And the most popular, widely using in all over the world, is called as what now? Relational database management software. Okay now, so these are the three models, guys, here, and the three types of softwares which was enhanced by people under DBMS. So my first software is called as a hierarchical, and second one is network, and third one is relational. Okay now, but guys, here observe, in this hierarchical, why, sir, after hierarchical, later the people was introducing networks, means in this we have some problems. A retrieval problem, data storage problem, okay, data organizing problem in tree structure, and duplicates are allowed here. Okay, so these kind of problems are, we have it here. After, to overcome that hierarchical, next they introducing what now? Networks. Okay, networks also, what it was happen, having some problems again. Okay, again they faced a retrieval problem. Okay, it's not supporting many to many relations problems. Okay, so that kind of problems here also we faced out. To overcome networks and hierarchical, this both database model, the drawbacks, whatever it is, that was overcome by people by using of relational. And the most important point here, these two models are outdated models, guys. Present in real time, no one can use these two models. Okay, so that means HDBMS, comma NDBMS. Okay, models are, which models here? Outdated. Okay, outdated models. Okay, na? So present, there is a no company, no industry, nothing. No one can using this hierarchical and network. So this is what we called as a outdated models. So we don't want it here. Okay, but if you know what is what, I will give in the documentation. You can read. Or theory part is there. You can read, and if you understand the theory, you can. Or else you have any doubt, you can come and ask me. Okay, na? Right. So, but present there is a nobody using this two model is a purely outdated. Okay, and relational model. This is from 1970s. From the 1970s onwards, this relational model will be ruling entire the universal. Okay, na? But in 1970s, whatever this model was introduced by people, okay, again in this model, they was classified into two parts here. So this is very important for you because your oracle is comes under which part? Okay, that was we called as the first one is called as what now? Object relational database management systems. It is called as a ORDBMS. Okay, now ORDBMS. And next one is called as the second, okay, the model in this object oriented DBMS. That is called as OODBMS. OODBMS. Okay, now. So relational models, again, two ways it was classified by people. One is object relational and one is object oriented relational. Okay, now. So ORDBMS and OODBMS. So then you're asking question. So what is the differences between these two, sir? And the where I can use object relational and where I can use object oriented. Okay, and now you will get some clarity. Okay, somebody's have a doubts now. No SQL. What is MongoDB? What is Oracle? This kind of doubts are there now. So now your doubts will be clearing now. The first one is called as a object relational database management systems. Okay, so object relational database management systems. That means in this model, okay, first thing is what it is here. Data can be stored. Okay, data can be stored in which format here? In tabular format. Okay, now. So object relational databases, whatever it was there in real-time industries, that every object relational databases are storing your data in which format? Tabular format. Okay, now. So now here, we all of you know this, guys. Here, a table is nothing but, what do you say? Collection of, come on, collection of rows and columns. Okay, now. So that is what. Next, for example, you can say, what is a row? What is a row? A row is nothing but group of columns, we can say. Yes or no? Now, so I said, what is database? What is database? Database is called as a collection of tables. Okay, now. So these are. So database is nothing but collection of tables. Wait, guys, wait. Database is nothing but, already I was given this definite collection of tables. A table is nothing but collection of rows and columns. A row is nothing but group of columns. Okay, now. So this point should be understood. Okay. And here, guys, whereas come to, okay, in your row, the row can be called in different manner. So row, or else we called as what now? A record, or else we can call it as what now? Tuple. These are all our meaning of row. And what is a column? The column we can say, okay, either column, otherwise we can say either attribute, either we can say either field. Okay, now either field. So these are called as a columns definitions. So row, record, tuple, column, attribute, and field. This combination we are forming a table, and all tables we are grouping together and storing into one memory, and that memory is called as what? Database. Okay, now, so object relational database management system, sir, your data can be storing in this format. Okay, right. But guys, here, this object relational databases, whenever you want to work on that, okay, when you want to work on object relational databases, so which we want data, it means that it depends on, that means this model or this databases, okay, this database, complete and purely depends on what? What? SQL. So object relational databases always, okay, it will be depends on SQL language. Without SQL knowledge, you can't handle object relational databases. So compulsory we should need what now? SQL. That's why it is called a purely SQL dependency databases. Understand now? Yes or no? This is what we called. So what are those, sir? What are those, sir? So that means, yes, our examples are what? Oracle, what? SQL Server, what? MySQL, what? DB2, what? Sybase, what? Informix, what? Ingres, okay? Ingres. Next, what? MaxDB, okay? So what? TerraDB, Terra database, okay na? So etc, etc, etc. So these are all are the best examples of object relational data, so object relational database softwares. So these are all are comes under which category? Object relational, and these all are storing data in which format? Tabular format. These all are working based on which language? SQL. Clear na? Yes or no? No sound. Come on. Now you are asking, then what it is object oriented, sir? Okay, then what it is object oriented, sir? Now you are observed. Object oriented, that means in this database, data can be stored. Data can be stored in which format? Object format. Storing into object format. Okay, now, and this object oriented databases are also called as what now? No SQL database. What we called a no SQL database. So that means object oriented databases and these softwares and databases are never depends on SQL. It never depends on SQL. So SQL cannot understand here. Okay, now. So now this is what no SQL database also we called. Okay. Now, but then how these databases are working, sir? On which it was depends, sir, means it depends on one of the most important concept. What is that? Oops. Okay, which concept here? Oops concept. Oops concept, all of you know na? In Java, .NET, Python also there are? Python. So oops is there. Object oriented programming. Okay. So this knowledge is required for object oriented databases purpose. So that means whenever you want to work on object oriented databases, you need a knowledge of what now? Oops. That's why so many students are, when they're going to platform, object-oriented platform, they're coming to Java classes or they're coming to .NET classes, they're learning only OOPS concept. So they're learning OOPS concept and they went outside and they're learning some object-oriented database tools and they try their jobs. Okay, now. So this is completely depends on OOPS, but not a SQL. That's why it is called as what now? No SQL we called. Now, here observe. Here object I said. What is the OOPS features? Class. Class, object. Class, object. In this object, we are storing our data. Understand now? So we all of you know, whenever you want to create a new object to the class, some memory allocated. Yes. So in such a patrons, they're writing a programs. So class, object, abstraction, encapsulations, polymorphism, and inheritance. So these all combination they can implemented in your object-oriented databases. Okay, right. And now here observe. What is the examples of this software, sir? What is the examples of this software, sir? What is the example here? What is that? MongoDB, and one more software is there, Cassandra, okay, etc. So Cassandra. So MongoDB, Cassandra, okay. So this type of the softwares and databases comes under object oriented. Okay, now now here after seeing this meanings of object oriented and object relational, our course is what? Oracle. So that means we are learning what? It's a before you want to enter into Oracle, be clarity. So we are learning relation, we are not learning and object oriented, you don't want it also. Only these people, special tools people only they want it. But Java people, .NET people, Python, PHP, yes or no, like DevOps, AWS, Selenium, okay, Informatica, Power BI, these are all are need what now? Object relationals knowledge. And of course, when they are going to know SQL databases, some students are learning what now? SQL, because they want to find out what is the differences here. For the differences identification purpose and getting more confident on the subject purpose, some students are coming to SQL. That means who are going to MongoDB site, Cassandra sites. Okay, these people also coming and learning what now? SQL. Because just for their awareness purpose. If they have knowledge of SQL, then they can understand that why it is called as a NoSQL. For that purpose, their subject knowledge improvement purpose, they're learning. But these people are not necessary to learn this one, only for their choice. Okay, now? Right. And now we are learning Oracle and we are not going to be touch this concept. So before I'm telling, this is not our course. Our course is Oracle. So that means we are learning object relational softwares we are learning, not oriented. Okay, now? Right. So this is guys here, DBMS related information before you want to enter into Oracle. So now you understand minimum little bit awareness got it up. Yesterday class and today class little bit idea is came. What is Oracle? Oracle is comes under which category, which model, which type of database? Little bit understanding? Say yes or no. Okay. So now are you happy for that? This information? Okay, sir. Now I can move into Oracle. Move into Oracle. Yes. So now we will move into Oracle. So your topic number 1. What we said? Yes. So 2 sessions I was taken to what is we wanted that we are learning. We are not discussing entire DBMS. Okay, na? What is we wanted for our Oracle purpose? The behind the story we'll like. Now what is the next one? This is very important classes for you. So here we are learning what I said. What is Oracle? Oracle is which type of database? You know already some information you got it. And versions, editions, installation, downloads, client server architecture, what is client, what is server, what is the role of client, what is the role of server, is all we can go to discuss in this topic number 2. Okay, now? Clear now? Yes. And Google Classroom still they are not created here. Okay, they said to you any information Google Classroom? Yesterday one person came and talked, they spoke something to you. One person, one administrator, Mr. Srikanta. What he said yesterday? Sir, once, please. Google Classroom. Tomorrow, confirm. Okay, guys. So Google Classroom will get it tomorrow. Okay. So once you get it, you just go to accept that invitation, and you will be registered into that. Immediately, this running notes along with this main notes also I'm sending. Okay, now that's called a PDF format. PDF format is a main notes. This is text is a running notes. Clear now? Right, guys. So I stop it here, and tomorrow, first class of your Oracle, right? Okay, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Tomorrow, Holi. Holi tomorrow. We are celebrating in the classroom here. What happened? Don't bring. Come. Class is there as usual. Okay? Right. So your interest, come or come. Otherwise, you are. But Oracle first session is started. Okay, na? Right, guys. Thank you.